Welcome to episode 2 of the squad tutorial on Verdun. Today is about the Nco class. Last week on episode 1 I did the squad user interface and sort of the menu and sort of just the very basics of how the squad sort of system works in Verdun. And then the sort of following episodes, this episode and the following episodes, go more specifically on the roles and the abilities within them roles. So if you haven't watched last week's episode or episode 1, you should probably watch it if you're a new player. Also, if you're a new player, I've got a beginner's guide on the channel somewhere which will probably work hand in hand with this, if you like. So it's probably a good idea to watch both of them. If not, just enjoy this. Any questions, because I know my accent sometimes is a bit strong, I can answer in the comments below. Thanks. Just before we get into it, I just wanted to say, no matter what faction you play as, there's always an NCO role available. It's the only role that it's always guaranteed that it's going to be there. Now, with the rifleman class and the gunner class and the grenadier and the specialist classes, they can change depending on what faction you play as. It's not always guaranteed that it's definitely a rifleman or it's definitely a gunner. That can change. The NCO class is always guaranteed. Always has sort of very similar abilities as well. Alright, so we spawned in, the game's just started. I can spawn in now, but I'm going to quickly press the options button and have a look. If you look on the main menu, you can see I'm part of the German battalion, one of the German battalions on the game, or German factions, and I'm playing the NCO role. I'm at the top of the leaderboard on my team, on my squad. At the top of the leaderboard in your squad will always be the NCO. It'll never be who's got the most kills or anything. It'll just always be the NCO, and then the rifleman, the gunner, and the sort of a specialist or grenadier class. So if we go to squad quickly, sometimes it lags a bit. As you can see on the squad menu, you've got this sort of combined squad level thing. Now don't worry too much about this. All it means is how many times you've played as this certain squad, and the more times you play it, the higher your squad level goes, and then combined with everyone else's, you get extra abilities and you get new uniforms. Don't worry about that too much. It doesn't really affect your gameplay at all. And it's nothing to sort of trivialise on. Don't worry about it too much. So we'll go across and we'll have a look. We've got the roles, the different roles. So you've got the NCO, rifleman, the gunner, and then the specialist or grenadier. And we've got the loadouts to the right of that. And as you can see, the NCO loadouts for me are the Luger, the C96, and the Kar98. So I always prefer rifle and bayonet, so I'll click that, and then we'll spawn in. And as you can see by the menu there, and I'll press the pad again, you can see we're now defending this trench, and I've just spawned in as the NCO. Now, you can see me on the map, I've got a yellow circle around me. That means I'm the NCO. My teammates can spawn on me. That's one of the best things about being an NCO, is if you're in the thick of it, you've got a lot of guys shooting at you, your teammates can spawn in that circle and help you out. So when you're in the enemy trench, you're by yourself, your teammates are dead, they can directly spawn onto you. Alright, as the NCO, there's two really important functions, and one of them is the R1 button. Now, if you click R1 or R2, depending on how you play or depending on what console you're on, you get these ability cards that come up. On the left it says assault order, on the right it says gas. Now what you can do is you can look at the enemy trench and you see this little red marker. Actually, you've got this red marker that you can look at and you can see. Now you can place, if you click an assault order, let's click there, you can see there's a new little attack bubble that's gone on top of the trench. That's you telling where you want your team to attack. Now they can get points for attacking that section, and they also get points for staying in this circle. And this is all about the teamwork element, which is sort of implemented into the game. Now again, in that circle people can spawn within that circle, as I've said before, but if your teammates stay within the NCO's range, which is that circle, they gain extra XP. And you can also see on the map, people have attacked into the zone where I've wanted them to, where I've clicked the attack point. So again, we look up, you can see that attack marker I've put. It shows up on the map as the sort of the circle at the top, and my teammates are in there and they'll be getting extra XP for doing that. So that's one of the main functions. Also on that function, so you've got your assault order, which I've shown you, which is where you want people to attack. You've got your ability, and now depending on what squad you're playing as, it can be artillery, it can be mortar rounds, it can be different things. For this German squad I've got gas, so I can call in gas on that same position, which is not a good idea because that's where I've told my team to attack, but let's just do it for the purposes of this video. Left hand corner it says your NCO has called in some gas, and hopefully soon you're going to see some gas. There it is, it's just been shot in. And what you can use this gas for a number of things. You can use it to kill the enemy, but you can also call it in to provide you cover when you're attacking. So as you can see on the map now, well, you could see before the gas had actually come up on the map, and but it's there now. So let's say you're in the game, you've called your gas in. What you can now do, you can see that I'm starting to kill people on the map using the gas. You think that attack point's not working, you're getting chewed down there, and you've got gas there. You can change, you can press your R2 button again, or R1 depending on how you play, and you can click your assault order. I want you to attack the right flank this time, and this time hopefully your team will start moving over to the right flank, and your bubble, which you can see on the map, has changed to the right, or the circle, your sort of guided circle, and hopefully we can hold this sector. Now, another important feature of your NCO, you are seen as the leader of the team. That's the whole point. Non-commissioned officer, you're the person who's in charge of your squad, so it's a really good idea if you're not using game chat or voice chat, especially if you're with Xbox players, because let's say if you're on PlayStation, you've got a team of Xbox players in your game, I don't think the voice chat's working at the minute to connect them. So what you can do is you can hold R1, which is the same button as your two abilities that you get, but instead hold it this time and you get the command wheel. Now I've already got a video on the command wheel and the importance of it, but this is just to go over it again. And what you can do basically here is give different orders. So you've got your orders, you've got your take, so this might be like take cover, take down sniper, take their trench. Sorry, I've gone off it. You've got your warnings, your replies, and then your miscellaneous type of stuff which you can taunt the enemy and things like that. So if we go back to it, let's say order, what you can do, if you're the NCO, we've gone into their trench, you want to hold in, you don't want people running off, so you hold their ground, and in the top left hand corner it'll come up, Toxic Hebo squad, hold your ground, and that's a squad order, so everyone in your squad, no matter what console they're on, regardless of cross-platform, they'll be able to see that message. So we're now in the far right of the trench, of putting a assault order down. I want people to hold this section. They don't have to either, they don't have to. Not everyone will follow the NCO's commands, but it's a good idea to. You get more squad points, and teamwork it makes the game more fun sometimes. So you can see I've got two guys, I've got my whole team in this area here, this corner area, so I'm going to press the hold order button, and now top left hand corner of the squad, hold your ground, and hopefully they'll listen to that and we can win the game. So as you can see here, I've switched to the other side, and now I'm playing for the Tommies, and again you've got your command reel, and you can see that I've got the command aura, which the command aura is the same thing, so I can put it on that left hand corner and it'll say move here. So my team go on the map, you can see there's a little defence shield. I want them to move up there and attack that position. Instead of having gas this time, I've got sector artillery that you can see. So if I call that in, let's say I want to attack up here, but I'm going to call some artillery in first. Left hand corner, warning, your NCO is called in sector artillery on the map. You can see there's a red dot, that's where the artillery is going to come in. Luckily there's no friendly fire on online games, and I can put my command order, let's attack. Everyone will see that and hopefully we'll move up. And again, my squad's already up there, so they are following the orders. But just remember, if you work with the NCO, if you work within that circle that he's got on his screen, you can gain extra squad points, and if you're interested in getting new uniforms and more abilities, then it's quite an important thing to do. I hope you found that helpful. If you need any help, just put it in the comments and I will do that. I've also got a Discord which you can join, and you can there's always people on there who are willing to help you out. I can help you out on there as well through Discord, and I can answer questions more specifically in sort of greater detail if you like. Episode 3 will be out next week, probably around the same day, probably a Thursday again, and I'll be talking about the rifleman class and sort of more specialised classes. So if that interests you, then you might want to stick around for that. And then finally tomorrow I've got a live stream it's like a squad defence, and I'm trying to get subscribers in who want to play with me, and we're going to try and beat wave 20. I think my record is wave 21 in Argon, but I'd like to try and get more than that. So we're going to try and get plus wave 20 tomorrow on a live stream. So if you're interested in that, please stick around for that as well. Thanks for watching. Cheers.